our desire to make every experience at Malhar a celebration of life itself, whether that be through the arts, music, literature, or any form of expression. We want to remind everyone to embrace life with passion and vitality. One of the most significant aspects of Malhar is and always has been our conclave, a platform for intellectual discourse where some of the most brilliant minds come together to share their insights. This year, Conclave reflects the theme by bringing in a diverse range of speakers from various walks of life. Each speaker has their own story of how they've lived life to the fullest, overcome challenges, and contributed to the world in various meaningful ways. Throughout their discussions and interactive sessions, we'll get a glimpse into the beauty and richness of their lives and understand how we can truly embrace the concept of Viva la Vida. It's not just about listening to these speakers, it's also about engaging and understanding their perspectives and finding inspiration in the experiences that they have gone through. It is a unique opportunity for all to learn from the best and see how passion can drive us to create, innovate, and lead fulfilling lives. So as we embark on this journey over the next 2 days, I encourage each one of you to immerse yourselves fully into the spirit of Viva la Vida. Thank you so much and welcome to Malhar 2024.
Thank you, Sanaya, for sharing your thoughts with us. I would now like to call upon the backbone of Conclave, our OC, Rucha Dalvi, to deliver her thoughts and declare Conclave 2024 open.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to Malhar Conclave 2024. I am Rucha Darvi, the person in charge of organizing Conclave. Over the past few months, my team and I have worked tirelessly to ensure that the Conclave is graced by distinguished speakers and that the audience is able to take away something meaningful from every session. The theme for Conclave 2024 is Laksha, Ignite the Fire Within. Laksha, meaning aim or target, encapsulates the essence of having a clear direction and purpose in life. The theme serves as a call to action and encourages the identification of personal aspirations. It emphasizes that every individual possesses a unique spark that, when ignited, can lead to something extraordinary. I hope for the distinguished speakers present here, this theme provides them an opportunity to inspire and mentor. The Malhar theme for this year is related to the Conclave theme, which is alive with passion, Viva la Vida, by carrying forward the essence of working with exuberance for your passion. The Conclave has a rich legacy of over 15 years and has in the past been carved out for themselves. You are motivated to embark on a journey towards your own Laksha with renewed vigor and clarity. The entire team Conclave has worked very hard for this day, and I'm very glad that we get to bring it to its fruition now. Hence, with the highest of spirits, I, Rucha Darvi, hereby declare Malhar Conclave 2024 open.
Good afternoon to one and all present over here and a very warm welcome. I am Arjun Nagapurkar, the host for today's session. I am very excited to welcome you all for the very first session of Malhar Conclave 2024. Can I have a big round of applause from you all? Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce this speaker who embodies dedication, bravery, and an unwavering commitment to serving as Additional Director General of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, Maharashtra. His journey in the Indian Police Services began in the year 1997, and since then he has several key positions, including the Joint Commissioner of Police, Mumbai, and the Commissioner of Police, Nashik. His exceptional leadership and courage were recognized at the national level when he was awarded the President's Police Medal for Gallantry in 2015. For his pivotal role in the counter-terrorist operations during the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. Along with this, he's an excellent motivational speaker, and his speeches have shaped many individuals, including me as well. Whenever we hear his speeches, we feel a boost of positivity and motivation. So without any further ado, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, the real life Singham, the one and only IPS Vishwas Nangre Patil.
Thank you, Arjun. Yalkot, Jai Malhar. हालात के कदमों पर सिकंदर नहीं गिरता, टूटा कोई तारा तो जमीन पर नहीं गिरता, गिरते हैं शौक से दरिया समंदर में, लेकिन किसी दरिया में समंदर नहीं गिरता। मल्हार युवा ऊर्जा उन्नयन, it symbolizes energy, enthusiasm, youthfulness. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Shinde sir. Mr. Radhakrishnan is here. Dr. Samir Patil sir is here. Asma ma'am. और जिनके बुद्धि में विवेक है, जिनके मन में उत्साह है, जिनके हृदय में करुणा है, जिनका चरित्र शुद्ध है, जिनका विचार उच्च है, ऐसे युवक और युवती। I'm here standing to narrate the story of my life with some learning lessons. As Arjun introduced, I belong to 1997 batch of Indian Police Service, presently working as Additional Director General, Anti-Corruption Bureau, Maharashtra. I belong to a small village, Conclave, tucked atop a mountain range of mighty Sahyadris, surrounded by beautiful river Varna. And I had meaningful 23-year journey from a rural boy to IPS, and then 27 years in Indian Police Service, full of odds, struggles, challenges, and varied experiences. Forge the path with grit and courage. लोहा जितना तपता है उतनी ताकत भरता है, सोने को जितनी आग लगे उतना प्रखर निखरता है, हीरे पे जितने घाव लगे उतना खूब चमकता है, मिट्टी का बर्तन पकता है तो धुन पर खूब खनकता है, सूरज जैसा बनना है तो सूरज इतना जलना होगा, नदियों सा आदर पाना है तो पर्वत छोड़ निकलना होगा, और तू तो आदम का बेटा है क्यों सोचे राह सरल होगा, हर संघर्ष सफल होगा, आज नहीं तो कल होगा, हर संकट का हल होगा. So my journey is leaving the comfort group, trying to search new horizons of life. Rural children are like wildflowers. If they get black fertile soil, some dose of fertilizer, some warm sunlight and some water, they blossom so beautifully that no rose, lotus, daffodil can match them. Some such wildflowers blossomed on the river bank of Varna in Sangli district. And I was lucky one which blossomed in the year 1997. In this year 1997, I could succeed in 12 consecutive exams, and I could get into Indian Police Service, that is IPS, through the civil services examination conducted by UPSC. And I simultaneously could crack the post of Deputy Collector and Sales Tax Officer through MPSC examination. And we were three friends from a small village, Conclave, who got into IPS, IAS and IFS. Anand Patil, my cousin, got into IAS. Sugandh Chogle, my classmate, got into Indian Foreign Service, and I got into IPS. It was Super 30-like story, here Super 3. It was not by fluke. It was trap, it was plan. long drawn plan. Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, and who is supposed to do it for you. I did my primary education at Jilla Parishad School in my village. For secondary schooling, I went to Taluka Place, where teachers groomed me and inculcated some positive and constructive and healthy habits in my routine. Watch your thoughts, those become your words. Watch your words, those become your actions. Watch your actions, those become your habits. Good habits lead to good character, bad habits to bad character. And your destiny is dependent on your character. So I align my thoughts, words, actions, habits, and character so positively so as to change my destiny. So when I was in 10th, I was staying as a paying guest in my teacher's house. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but while their companions were asleep, they were toiling upwards in the night. And my teacher made me to get up every day at 3 a.m. and to study in the wee hours of that early morning. That focus study. If you focus, you learn. If you learn, you grow. And if you grow, then only you can enjoy. And this discipline regime and this focus study could lead to a miraculous success in my SSC examination. I scored 88% in 1988 and stood first in my taluka. Again a poem, Pablo Neruda. You start dying slowly if you avoid the passion and those turbulent emotions which make your eyes glisten and heart beats fast. You start dying slowly if you do not risk what is safe for that uncertain. If you do not chase your dreams, and if you do not allow yourself at least once in your lifetime to run away, you start dying slowly. I decided my goal when I was in 12th. The goal was specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. What is that? Smart. I didn't opt to join the conventional engineering or medical after my 12th. I was getting admission in government engineering college. But I risked my career and joined arts faculty to reach that uncertain goal to become IAS or IPS. My father was backbone of my commitment and conviction to reach the goal. He was a farmer, but he always sacrificed for my comforts. I was studying in this area, SISC. I was studying in Delhi, in Rao's classes. That time, used to write a postcard with concluding line full of motivation, Vishwas. I want to see you as commissioner, alighting from a government car with red beacon light. मुश्किलें जरूर है मगर ठहरा नहीं हूं मैं, रास्तों से जरा कह दो अभी भटका नहीं हूं मैं। कदमों को न बांध पाएगी मुसीबतों की जंजीरें, मंजिल से जरा कह दो अभी पहुंचा नहीं हूं मैं। सबर का बांध टूट जाएगा तो फना करके रख दूंगा, दुश्मन से जरा कह दो अभी गर्जा नहीं हूं मैं। चैलेंजेस, ऑड्स, एनकाउंटर्स, बादलों के दरमियां कुछ ऐसी साजिश हुई, मेरा घर मिट्टी का था, मेरे घर बारिश हुई। फलक को जिद थी जहां बिजलियां गिराने की, हमें भी जिद है वही आशिया बनाने की। During my quest to achieve the goal, I stumbled many times. I had to apply the brakes of self-constraint. Many a time, my situation was like a kite with strings seaward, but I believed staunchly in myself. I kept the naysayers and negative things at safe distance. I took all the failures as blessing in disguise and I believed in only one mantra, that is hard work, hard work, hard work. I had big dreams in my eyes. I weave those dreams with efforts and hard work. लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती। नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चलती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पर 100 बार फिसलती है। मन का विश्वास रगों में साहस भरता है, चढ़कर गिरना, गिरकर चढ़ना न खराता है। आखिर उसकी कोशिश बेकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती। असफलता एक चुनौती है, उसे देखो और सुधार करो। क्या कमी रह गई है उसे देखो और सुधार को। जब तक सफल न हो चैन नींद सब त्यागो तुम, संघर्षों का मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम। कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती। I remember I came to Mumbai with rucksack full of books and eyes full of dreams. Innovation in head, compassion in heart, passion in the belly and vision in the eyes. I was living in the Sobo Churchgate area in university hostel, but could not afford to pay more than rupees 15 for the rice plate. In the evening, we used to stroll on Marine Drive, Gateway of India, used to see the glaze and dazzle and pop and show at Hotel Taj, Oberoi. Metro theatre was at walking distance. On the day of premiere, we used to stand there for hours to have one glimpse of the Bollywood star, suffering abuses of the bouncers. I was searching for the servant quarters to stay in Yashodan, Suniti, Suruchi buildings, which are made for IS and IPS when I was not getting admission in the hostel. But again, there was despondency, there was frustration, looming uncertainty, dismay and dejection. मुट्ठी भर लेकर कुछ सपने भर कर जेबों में आशाएं, दिल में है अरमान कहीं कुछ कर जाए, कुछ कर जाए। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। मेरी हद रोशन करने से तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। मैं उस माटी का वृक्ष नहीं जिसको नदियों ने सींचा है, बंजर माटी में पलकर मैंने मृत्यु से जीवन खींचा है। मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूँ, मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूँ, तुम शीशे से कब तक तोड़ोगे। मिटने वाला मैं नाम नहीं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। हफ्ते में कभी वीकेंड पे रिश्तेदारों के घर जाते थे, ताने सुनते हैं, ऐसे कोई आईएएस बनता है क्या, आईपीएस बनता है क्या, सेटल हो जाओ, काम धंधा करो। इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं उतने सहने की ताकत है, तानों के शोर में रहकर भी सच कहने की आदत है। मैं सागर से भी गहरा हूं, तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे। चुन चुन कर आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। झुक झुक कर सीधा खड़ा हुआ, अब फिर झुकने का शौक नहीं। अपने ही हाथों रचा स्वयं, तुमसे मिटने का खौफ नहीं। तुम हालातों की भट्टी में जब जब भी मुझको फेंकोगे, तब तब कर सोना बनूंगा मैं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। ग्रेटर द स्ट्रगल, ग्रेटर इज द ट्रायम्फ। विपरीत परिस्थितियों में कुछ लोग टूट जाते हैं और कुछ लोग रिकॉर्ड तोड़ देते हैं। I had that never say die attitude, insatiable willpower. I studied tirelessly till my back ached in that 1996-97 and I got into IPS. My life changed. I got accommodation when I was DCP, posted as DCP South Mumbai. I got the accommodation in spacious 2200 square feet flat on Marine Drive, Yashodan building, where I was searching for servant quarters. The same clubs wherein I was peeping with envy what is going inside, same club that management committee came and offered me honorary membership to me and my family. The same Bollywood stars, when I was posted as additional commissioner of western suburbs from Bandra to Juhu, sought my appointment before meeting me, coming to meet me. And in that Taj hotel, I never dreamt of having a cup of tea on that fateful night of 26/11, me and my team was the most awaited, and for battling the terrorists bravely there, our team was awarded with President's Police Medal for gallantry. So, life changes, role changes, character change, destiny change. Success is never final, failure is never fatal. It's the courage to continue which matters. Winning horse doesn't know why he runs due to beats and pains. Life is a race. God is your rider, and if you are getting beats and pains, then God wishes you to win the race. In my interview of UPSC in 1997, the then chairman, Lieutenant General Surendranath, asked me final concluding question, Vishwas, आप इस दुनिया में क्यों आए हो? It was googly. It was perplexing. I didn't come on my own. But I took a pause and narrated poem of La Mancha, which may explain the purpose of my life. It's the poem of the soldier to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to run where the brave dare not to go, to love the pure and chaste afar, to bear that unbearable sorrow, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach that unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without questions, without pause, to be willing to march into the hell for heavenly cause. I'm here to bring the positive and constructive change. Be the change which you want to see in this world. There is a beautiful prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things which I cannot change, courage to change the things which I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I would like to narrate the story of 26/11 in few words, if Radhakrishna sir permits. On that fateful day of 26/11, 2008, 10 Lashkar-e-Taiba trained terrorists came to Mumbai via sea route and attacked this city. This mayhem lasted for almost 60 hours. In the process, 5 static locations, including Hotel Taj, were attacked. Besides, 3 IED, improvised explosive devices, blasts in taxis, and incidents of indiscriminate firing on the road. In all, 166 innocent people lost their lives, including 26 foreign nationals. 304 others were severely injured. Security forces lost their 18 brave officers and men. I was DCP of this area. I was DCP of South Mumbai. All the incidents happened in my area. 940, 4 terrorists. 938, 2 terrorists from North Goat and 2 terrorists from Main Gate entered in Hotel Taj. And 9:51, on 11th minute, me and my bodyguard Amit, I think he's somewhere, he suffered 3 bullet injuries. Both entered on 11th minute. 10:03, everything is recorded in the CCTV. 10:03, I could fire 3 rounds on 4 terrorists gathered on Royal Staircase opposite Crystal Hall, where the wedding was on, and could injure one of those. This firing was crucial. This was surprising counter-attack which made them to retreat. We searched north and south wing but couldn't locate them. Then I took a call to go to the CCTV control room, and from there we could rescue hundreds of civilians stuck at different places and could pin them down till 3 a.m. But at 3 a.m. they located us and bombed our floor, busted AK-47 bullets from 4th floor, in which Amit Khetle got 3 bullet injuries. 1 bullet which brushed his tummy hit Rahul Shinde, 21-year-old SRPF boy who martyred on the spot. The officers and men who accompanied me got severely wounded. We were not having bulletproof vests, not with automatic weapons. These heavily armed gunmen, each one, there were 4 in Taj, each one was having one AK-47, 6 double magazines. One magazine contains 30 bullets, 20 to 25 grenades, one additional pistol with 60 rounds, and the plastic bag, one 8 kg RDX IED, improvised explosive device. So we were knowing that we are going to die, but life and death both have purpose. The lines which I didn't reiterate in my interview of that poem of La Mancha, last lines are like this. I'll be true to that glorious quest when my heart will lie peaceful and calm, when I'm laid to my final rest, and the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach that unreachable star. Pradhan Commission inquired into our actions. They appreciated both our proactive and reactive response. We were awarded with President's Medal for Gallantry. There are certain learning lessons, 4 specifically, through the maxims I will tell. First one, which are applicable in your life also. More you sweat during peacetime, less you bleed during wartime. You have to do lot of homework, lot of preparations so as to face the contingencies. Second one is from Art of War, the great book which was written in 511 BC by Sun Tzu. If you know yourself and if you know your enemy, you need not worry about the result of 100 battles. You will win all the battles. If you know yourself and if you do not know your enemy, you will suffer defeat after every victory. And if you neither know yourself nor your enemy, you will succumb in every other battle. So always listen to the signals coming from adversary and organize your reflex actions. For that, you have to have cautious concentration, decision-making ability, and implement those decisions coherently and positively. The decisions are taken first in mind and then they are executed by the body. So you have to have control on your emotions, your heart, and your mind. Third one is Sanskrit hymn from Kathopanishad. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. It's about teamwork, it's about camaraderie. May God protect us together. May God accept us together. May our learning be ever fresh and let us not hate each other. And fourth one, again Sanskrit Subhashit. Yavvanam dhana sampatti prabhutvam vivekita ekekam anavathaya kimu yatra chatushtham. Means your youth, dhana sampatti, your wealth, money, prabhutvam, your satta or power, and avivek, lack of conscience. Any one of these elements may ruin, destroy your life. Think if all of these come together. So always have the blend of kriya and karma. Never ever give up. There are many instances when you face lot of criticism, allegations, blames. Life is always not fair, but it's the commitment, it's belief in the truth and integrity. While drafting a blueprint of your life, there should be always deep belief in your self-worth, your own dignity, and your somebodyness. Always strive for the excellence and belief in justice. I would conclude with a beautiful poem written by one IPS colleague. मैं खाकी हूँ, दिन हूँ, रात हूँ, सांझ वाली बाती हूँ, मैं खाकी हूँ. आंधी में, तूफान में, होली में, रमजान में, देश के सम्मान में अड़िग कर्तव्यों की अविचल परिपाटी हूँ, मैं खाकी हूँ. तैयार हूँ हमेशा ही तेज धूप और बारिश को हंसकर सहने को, सारे त्योहार भीड़ के साथ मनाने को, कभी पत्थर और कभी गोली भी खाने को. मैं बनी दूजी माटी हूँ, मैं खाकी हूँ. विघ्न विकट सहकर भी सुशोभित सज्जित भाती हूँ, मुस्काती हूँ, इटलाती हूँ, वर्दी में गौरव पाती हूँ. मैं खाकी हूँ, तम में प्रकाश हूँ, कठिन वक्त में आंसू, हर वक्त तुम्हारे साथ हूँ. बुलाओ तो दौड़ी आती हूँ, मैं खाकी हूँ. Last lines are very beautiful. भूख और थकान की बात ही क्या, भूख और थकान की बात ही क्या, कभी आहत हूँ, कभी चोटिल हूँ और कभी तिरंगे में लिपटी रोती सिसकती छाती हूँ, मैं खाकी हूँ। जय हिंद।
On behalf of Malhar and Conclave Department, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to Vishwas sir and our audience. Today's session has been truly enlightening and we owe this to you, sir. Your profound reflections on your experiences, challenges, and your career preparation have lightened the path for all of us gathered here. Indeed, it has kicked off day one of Conclave with some energy. Before we conclude, I would now like to invite Dr. Rajendra Shinde sir to come on stage and present a token of gratitude to our esteemed guest. I would also like to call upon the staff committee and Malhar core committee for a picture.
We request the audience to kindly be seated for the next session.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Check. Hello. Check.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to introduce two distinguished experts who will guide us through today's insightful sessions. First, we have Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir, India's #1 best-selling business author and the mastermind behind 17 bestsellers including groundbreaking corporate Chanakya. As the founder and director of the Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies, he has shaped the leadership strategies of giants like Tata, Reliance, and the Indian Army. Today, he'll explore the political philosophies of India, drawing on his profound understanding of Chanakya's wisdom. Next, we welcome Dr. Sameer Patil sir, Director of the Center for Security and Strategy and Technology at ORF, and a key figure in tech diplomacy. With extensive experience in national security, he is the author of Securing India in the Cyber Era. Dr. Patil will enlighten us on timeless tactics crucial for navigating our interconnected world. Now, I'd invite Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir to share his thoughts.
Respected Shinde sir, all the teachers, Sameer sir, and boys and girls. I'll not use the word ladies and gentlemen. Even if you become a gentleman officially after 35, think like a boy or a girl. अंदर के बच्चे को मरने मत देना, अंदर के youth को मरने मत देना. Remember, don't be childish when you grow up, but be childlike. छोटा बच्चा सीखते रहता है, right? It's very, very important to have this attitude in life. The topic that is given to me is very interesting for me also. I have written 23 books on Chanakya, writing 4 more. But that's not the point. The point is that whether you are a successful author or no, that's not a question. Are you actually believing in success? नहीं, success हो जाएंगे. Our country has a major problem. We think like losers rather than thinking as winners. I remember I was in US and there was this interview that was going on of Bill Gates. So somebody asked him, you invest in so many projects, you start new ideas, innovation. What if it fails? You know what was the answer? What if it succeeds? हमको problem हो गया इस देश में. Ours is not to win. Ours is to lose, not to lose. You know, there were days when cricket was a 5-day match. Abhi to it's coming down to ODI to T20, and I think there's now something of 5 hours also coming up, 5 or 10 hours. The problem is that during those 5 days, test match, winning was not important. Drawing was important. हम हारे नहीं ना, अरे जीते भी नहीं. We did not win a medal, it's okay, but we did not lose a medal. As a generation which has come out, can't you actually think from an Indian philosophical angle that it's not just about what you played, which game you played, but did you think like a winner or did you think like a loser? So therefore, what I'm going to do, in the next 10 minutes that I've got, I'm going to actually tell you something about this great culture that we are all born into, called India and Indian philosophy, about some of the leadership philosophies of our country. Some of you must have heard about my books and all those things. I'll not go into that. I want to tell you about Chanakya, how he created leaders. Remember the Chandragupta Maurya and all that stories? वो सब पढ़ लेना. We have a beautiful history department, ancient Indian. I don't want to go into that. I keep coming to the college, by the way, to take some lectures, online, offline. That's for some other session. And I've been a little part in drafting NEP also. And IKS पे बहुत काम कर रहा हूँ. So I'll not speak like a teacher because they told me, Rucha, told me you have to inspire people. Okay? Let me inspire you for the next 10 minutes with only 2 takeaways. Takeaway number 1. Think like a leader, not like a follower. Huh? Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a way of thinking. I'll tell you how I came to Malhar' first time. I was sitting on that side. That time it was gaining popularity, but today it's like, you know, I know a lot of people who could not get a card inside. But you know, a winner doesn't look at where I'll be stopped at the gate. Of course, we have to follow the protocols and, you know, we should not do gate crashing. But is there a way of getting into the position or what you want to do in life without taking the direct route? There's something called as wild card entry. Have you heard about it? अरे tickets available नहीं है, हार गए. Tickets available नहीं है. You know what is the next question? Who creates the tickets? Why am I telling you? I can take a complete lecture on strategic thinking for a leader, but that's for some other time. But I want to tell you that, are you thinking like a leader? How does a leader think? And how does Chanakya think about making a leader? I'll just give you one Sanskrit word, philosophies of India. There are many. But one of them I want you to actually understand is called Vijigishu. किसने सुना? One or two people. Because it's very sad that we have lost understanding that how a winner should think. The field can be many. You want to be a winner in sports, you want to be a Olympic gold medalist, you want to be a businessman, politician, IAS, IPS officer. We heard sir also right now. But my question is that, are you thinking like a Vijigishu? What do you mean by Vijigishu? Vijigishu is a person who wants to become a world conqueror. Huh? हमने तो सुना है, we have heard that India never attacked any country. That's true. But we don't have to attack somebody to become a winner. Conquering doesn't mean killing. Why can't you think like a Vijigishu? And I'll tell you how a Vijigishu thinks and how I applied in my life. नहीं तो theory ठीक है, teacher लोग theory सिखाते हैं ना. So I'll tell you what a Vijigishu is. A Vijigishu doesn't think big. Huh? Vijigishu leader doesn't think big, he thinks biggest. There's a big difference between thinking small and thinking big. But I'm taking to the next level. Don't think big, think biggest. Possible, huh? I'll tell you in my life how did I do. How many of you made a goal chart, a wish list for your life, bucket list? कर लो. I made a bucket list when I was in college. Okay, सब लोग करना चाहिए. विश्वास ही नहीं करो लेकिन. And I remember I had made 20 points that I want to have in my life. Success meant these 20 points. For example, I want to be an MBA and professional courses. Second, okay, I want to go to America. That was some, wish list during our generation. Third one, okay, I want to write a book. And I made a 20 list like that and all those things. And one of them suddenly, why only this, I should want to do a PhD also after my MBA. After 5 minutes, I put that list and I walked around and came back. कितना छोटा सोचता हूँ मैं, हाँ? From a regular course, you do a professional course, and you say छोटा सोच रहे हैं, बड़ा सोच रहा हूँ. No. Then I realized one thing, सोच में गलती है. I'm not thinking like a Vijayishu, what Chanakya taught us. I looked at the list and changed all the 20 points into something biggest in that field. For example, I want to do PhD. Good or bad? It's big, right? Bigger than graduation. You know what I wrote? Not only I want to become a PhD, but I want to be a gold medalist in PhD. Next. I want to write a book. Cut that. Believe me, वो छोटा है. I want to write a best-selling book. I want to have friends with IAS, IPS officers. Cut. They should take advice from me. Tuck, 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 tuck. ये सब ख्याली पुलाव है. I put that into a box and forgot it. After 20 years, I was cleaning up my room. Can you believe it? I took out the same list and every 20 out of 20 has been overachieved. I'm not even telling achieved. For example, PhD, of course I've done in Mumbai University. I'm a gold medalist, but do you know, actually people are doing PhD under me. Good or bad? Best-selling book, remember that? Not book, best-selling book. Today I've written 23 best-selling books. I'm writing 4 more. Why not have the best government bureaucrats in the Army, Navy, Air Force to actually take some, not only I should know them, they take my advice. I train some of the IAS academies. Last one, just for discussion. I don't want to go to America. I need to actually do something bigger. Today I teach in American universities. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट, जिंदगी में बड़ा सोचना तो है ही. जिंदगी में सबसे बड़ा क्यों नहीं सोचते उस फील्ड का. Therefore, remember this formula. We had Olympics recently, right? Somebody told me, I work with BCCI also very closely. You never win a silver medal. Huh? You actually lose a gold medal. Isn't it true? Why you want to aim your life with something mediocre? दुनिया में कुछ भी खेलो, only number 1, not even number 2. Not even number 2. अब जो भी field, you decide your field, arts, commerce, you want to be a businessman or a woman, entrepreneur, all those things. But the leadership quality is Vijigishu, world mein number 1. And let me tell you, Americans think like that. This is what I like about Americans. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say your generation is much more ahead. Let's say you want to start a business. Let's say you want to make an Apple or a mobile. When we make an Apple, we say, okay, data crunching. Bombay में इतना market है, Bangalore में इतना market है, India में इतना market है. If an Apple has to launch a mobile, what's the latest version? 14, 15, क्या है? They don't look at how much to sell in America. They will look at saying how much can I sell in the world. Isn't it true? 8 billion people is my market. So let me launch this product globally. That's not thinking big. That is making the biggest marketing plan for that product. छोटा मत सोचो, बड़ा सोचो. एक कदम आगे बढ़ो, सबसे बड़ा सोचो. The second point as a takeaway. Look back to the past to create your future. India is a strange country. The future of India depends on its past. इतना culture, इतना documentation, इतने sciences, no other country can be proud about. Isn't it true? I have Rucha's mother here, Sonar, and my wife Surekha here. She's doing a PhD over here. She's doing a PhD in Mumbai city. I was speaking to Shinde sir. And he immediately told me there's so much material available for you, Surekha, in this particular place. Are you aware of it? That your library is actually a documentation of your history and tradition and culture and strategy. What you're sitting in this room is not just about today's clean, nice room which is being live broadcasted. It's got legacy, isn't it true? Have you studied your own legacy? I'm from Xavier's College. But what makes Xavier's College the legacy we are talking about? Every field, whatever you choose in life, you have to study the history and the legacy of that field. Go back to the past and build the future. So you want to be good at something, जो पीछे नहीं देखता वो आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता. I did that with Chanakya. I was surprised when people say, Bharat सोने की चिड़िया थी. Thee is a very past word. Can we build a future better than the past? Let me tell you, we have so much wealth of knowledge of this country. So much wealth of knowledge, we're not even touching it. I'm not telling you don't go to social media, don't spend time in the canteen and a lot of other places that you enjoy. Of course you should. How much time are you spending in the library discussing the past of your own field? Let me tell you, that's very important. Only the past can build a greater future. I like to stop here with one example and one shairi, because Nagare sir inspired me for so many shairis, right? Very poetic. The story is very interesting. There's a person whom I met. He's number one in that field globally. He's a chemical engineer, of course. When I met him for the first time, he said, हमारे देश में metallurgy was so big. हम भूल गए. Every गांव में सोनार होता था. Isn't it true? It's not India में urban and rural divide. Everybody was living in villages and everybody had enough gold. Isn't it true? I studied Indian past, and today he's one of the top guys. He's a CEO of a multinational company where his specialization is actually bringing back Indian Rasayana Shastra back to the global economy. Rasayana Shastra means chemistry in metallurgy. So I don't know which field you want to select, that's your choice. But we have to go to the past and build the future. The shairi goes like this. जिसे ढूंढा गली गली वो हमारे घर के पिछवाड़े मिली. So what all knowledge you are seeking across the globe, somewhere you may find it in your library, your own house, and maybe a dadi maa ka nuska can actually solve a bigger problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those insights. I'm sure we all will strive to be number one in our lives. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Sameer Patil to share his thoughts as well.
Good afternoon. I think it is difficult to follow up the acts of both Mr. Vishwas Nangare Patil and Dr. Pillai, but I'll try my best. What I will do is actually, I'm a hardcore academic. I look at international relations. So what I will do is I will look at India's foreign policy today, how it is implemented, what kind of fundamental principles are there in the Indian foreign policy, and what kind of relevance do they hold for you guys, right? So if you look at today's world, there are a couple of things which are there. One is, you must have seen that today conflict is the defining reality of international politics, right? You must have heard about the First World War, Second World War, and you must have heard about the fact that since then, Europe has not really seen any kind of conflict. But if you look at the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, if you look at what is happening currently in West Asia or Middle East between Israel and Hamas, it just shows, that today war has, in a sense, become like the defining language of international politics. The second thing that you would see, if you look at the international politics today, is again the role of technology, right? You know that technology pervades everything today, but technology is also offering tools for the states to really, implement their geopolitical strategies. If you look at, for instance, cyberspace, if you look at, for instance, the drones, if you look at robotics, all those, offering new kinds of tools to the states to pursue their geopolitical rivalries. The third trend is essentially when the world is falling apart, the system which is supposed to hold it together, the United Nations, is really proving ineffective. Okay, the United Nations, which was set up after the Second World War, okay, designed to prevent the next World War, is actually now falling short of its one thing that it was supposed to do. But today, third world is not third world. Third world is now actually the global south. Okay, it is the new actor in international politics. It is not the kind of actor which is very submissive. It is actually now very proactive, very vocal, in putting forward its concerns. So in economics, you must have heard about this term called as the core and the periphery, right? The core was always Europe, the North, and the West. But today, actually, the countries which were in the periphery, the so-called third world, are now actually moving towards the core. Where is all the action happening? Where is all the technology happening? It's the global south. If you look at the kind of startup innovations which are coming from Africa, if you look at what is happening in countries such as, for instance, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Singapore, you know, all these countries are now asserting their claim, their rightful place in international politics. And it is in this backdrop that India is actually implementing its foreign policy, and that holds lessons for your own individual actions. The first thing, which again, what Dr. Pillai was talking about, we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family, right? So when you think of yourself, think that you are not alone. Think that you are not acting just for yourself, for your own prosperity. Only when you believe in collective prosperity, collective success, okay, you will be successful together. So the best leader is that who takes everyone together. Okay, it's not the leader who leads the pack, it's the one who takes along the entire pack. And that's really the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And if you look at India's foreign policy in the last 10 years to 15 years, we have really embodied that principle. Last year we had the G20, the group of 20 countries, the world's leading industrial economies. And we made Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam as the tagline of the G20. Why? Because we believe that our prosperity is interconnected with the prosperity of other countries. If we want to prosper, we would also like other countries to prosper, because only then we will be able to succeed together. So that's the first. Believe in collective prosperity, believe in collective action. Second, understand the importance of collaborative partnerships. Again, if you look at India's foreign policy, what is India doing? India is actually embracing every country, be it a major country, be it a smaller country, but embracing it because it believes that only when we work together, we can achieve greater things together. So if you look at, for instance, India's bilateral relations with every major country and every major actor, and even the countries of the global south, you would understand that how India is implementing that action. Be it the US or be it Vietnam, be it Singapore or be it Israel. We are all talking to each other and trying to make this world a better place. If you look at some of the minilaterals which have come together, the Quad, have you heard of the Quad? Right? Which brings together 4 democracies, India, Australia, US and Japan. Have you heard of I2U2? Right? India, Israel, UAE and the US. What do these minilaterals signify? They signify that we have to believe in collaborative partnerships because we have like-minded goals, and when we come together to pursue those like-minded goals, we can be successful. So that's the second principle, believing in collaborative partnerships. Third, which again goes along with the collective prosperity, pursuit of national interest is not opposite to collective well-being. Your success is not coming at the cost of others' failures. Your success is coming along with everyone else's success, because your national interest is absolutely supreme, but at the same time, every other state also has its own set of national interest, and when you come together, you can actually achieve your own national interest, but at the same time, you can also collectively do something together. So if you look at, for instance, today everyone uses UPI, the QR code, right? What is it? It's a digital public infrastructure, okay? And India is saying that, okay, we have become successful, we have been able to achieve digital inclusion, financial prosperity by bringing in digital public infrastructure. But India wants to now share that experience with other countries. Why? Because we believe that the way that we have achieved success on the digital infrastructure, on the UPI, on the Aadhaar, on the India stack, we want to share that with the rest of the world so that they can also learn from us and also achieve prosperity, right? So we developed the digital public infrastructure for our own national interest, but now we are sharing it with other countries. If you look at the International Solar Alliance, what is the International Solar Alliance? Trying to achieve renewable energy. But the pursuit of renewable energy is also with the other countries. It's an alliance. It's a collaborative partnership. So that's the fourth principle. Third principle, pursuit of national interest is not coming at the cost of the failure of others. Fourth, believe in empathy. Do not believe in transactional partnerships and transactional relationships. And the perfect example of that is India's belief in the global south. As Vishwas Patil was saying, that your conditions are not permanent. At one point in time, when we got to freedom, 78 years ago, we were also a poor country. We were also, a third world country. But today, we are sitting at the global high table. But even as we are doing that, we are not forgetting our roots, because we believe that the way we have achieved progress and made this transition to a $5 trillion economy, the global south can also make its way. And therefore, we have to understand that the global south shares the same ambitions as us. So even as we sit with the countries such as the US, UK, Australia, Japan, we are not forgetting our roots. And that's because we believe in empathy. So even as we were hosting the G20 presidency, we ensured that the African Union became the 21st member of the G20. We allowed the group of African nations to come together and be part of these world's leading industrial economies. So that's the fourth thing. That you have to be empathetic and not believe in transactional partnerships. And the fifth, technology. As I said, technology pervades now every aspect of life. And India has really made technology diplomacy or tech diplomacy as a cornerstone of its foreign policy. But one thing which India has done, which not many countries have done, is the belief in the responsible and ethical use of technology. Technology is a dual-use technology. If your intentions are malicious, you will use the technological tools to cause destruction, disruption, and even deaths. But if your intentions are noble, you can actually achieve a collective good. And that's what India is telling to the world, that you have to be responsible and ethical in the usage of technology. Similarly, even as we get exposed, as we spend majority of our lives now online, you have to be responsible. Just because you are sitting behind a screen or a device does not mean that your actions have no consequences, right? Because you should be responsible in your behavior, and only then you can expect other internet users, other technology users to be responsible. All of us have studied Indian Constitution, right? And Indian Constitution gives us what? It gives us fundamental rights. But we forget that with fundamental rights, there are also fundamental duties. It is only when you do exercise your fundamental duties, you can claim 100% of the fundamental rights. You just cannot say, I want to be safe in cyberspace, but I will do whatever that I can do with regard to others. No. It is only when you believe in the safety of others, you can be safe. So that's the fifth thing, that you have to be responsible and ethical in the usage of technology. I'll stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your insights on India's foreign policies. We will now move on to the moderation segment of this session. I would like to call upon Aizil Ganguly for the same.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aizil Ganguly, and I am incredibly honored to be moderating this session. I look forward to having a fruitful discussion. I'd like to go back to the beginning, starting with you, Dr. Pillai. What initially drew you to Kautilya's Arthashastra, and why did you decide to base your academic and professional career on this ancient text?
Hello, am I audible? There's a very famous Rumi saying. How many of you read books of Rumi? R-U-M-I? Please do that. Very philosophical thought. Sometimes you find the road, sometimes the road finds you. I never thought Chanakya would become my life mission, but giving it specific, I'm a devotee of Lord Shiva. And I remember I was in Kailash Mansarovar. There's some videos also on that. You can see that. And I don't know why, I had this strange thought. I went to Kailash. My wife was also there at that time. I should dedicate my life to study and the, I would say, prachar bolo, ya popularization of Chanakya in our generation. I said, yeah. Big thought, yeah. Chanakya Arthashastra. You'll be surprised. You know, my wife told me, why don't you just try it out and ask somebody and verify it. I studied, PhD वगैरह हो गया, 23 books हो गया. Abhi, right now my situation is, I only know one thing called Chanakya, but that is enough to know everything.
I think that's incredibly inspiring. You don't normally hear of stories that it's something that found you. We all try to plan out our lives so much, but in this case, you decided to come to you, and that's how you decided that this is what you wanted to do. Coming to you, Dr. Patil, with the same thought in mind, I'd like to ask you how you decided upon your career. Was geopolitics something that you were always interested in, or is it something that came to you eventually?
I think it's a combination of both. In a sense, I like to say that I am actually part of that generation which actually witnessed the warfare on the television, the Kargil War of 1999. And just 1 year before that, we had the Indian nuclear tests, when India became the nuclear power, right? And I think those two events really had a seminal impact on my worldview. That, how India is now trying to carve out its own role, not just in the region, but also at the global stage. And I said, I think this is something which is fascinating. And the thing is, at that time, international relations was not exactly a career option at that time, as Dr. Pillai also would know. But I thought, I think I should give it a try. And somehow, so in a sense, I found a road, but the road also found me, because then the road took me on its own path, on its own curves and turns, and here I am today.
That's really nice to hear. I think that's something we all would want, that it's something that we want, something that finds us, and they both sort of coincide, and we're able to do both. Following up to that, Dr. Patil, could you explain to our audience the meanings of terms like strategy, cybersecurity, and national security, and what they entail?
So at its core, the idea of security means to be safe from something, right? And if you understand the concept of human security, the human security concept tells you that, that the human beings have to be safe from all things which can harm them. Their welfare is paramount. Now, if you look at it from the point of view of the nation state, right? Nation state comprises of the humans, okay? So the security of the nation means the nation should be able to do all those things which will achieve the welfare of the human beings that it is governing. So in that sense, today you can talk of anything which will compromise that ability as national security. So in the traditional times, it was basically the actions of the adversaries, that protecting yourself from the actions of the adversaries was the idea of national security. Today, it has now gone to the technology field, so anything, any technological advancement which affects your ability to provide that welfare, that is now national security. And within that, the small element is cybersecurity. So as you spend more and more time in the cyberspace, how do you secure yourself? How do you ensure, that your data is not compromised, is not breached? How do you ensure that your personal information remains private, right? All those things mean that will be cybersecurity.
Okay. I think that provided a lot of clarity as to what those terms mean, because a lot of us have a very general idea, and the fact that now the meaning of national security has changed is quite significant, I think. So thank you for that. Dr. Pillai, could you tell us the importance of Chanakya's teachings regarding security strategy and polity, and are there elements of these that India still uses today? Are there elements of these, of Chanakya's teachings on security strategy and polity that we use today?
So first of all, as Sir was defining security, security is a feeling that you have. I can feel unsafe everywhere. अंदर से आती है ना. I remember I was speaking to Patil sir before he left, Nagari Patil sir. So, I was asking him, and he gave a very beautiful answer. I'm responsible for the security of all the people in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Have you seen a Havaldar on the road? So when you see the government hai, And most of us may not understand that we are lucky to be in Mumbai, where girls and boys, of course, can walk around easily at 12 o'clock in the night. Isn't it true? Let me tell you, I go to many other cities, it's not that safe as a feeling. And there was a reason behind it. There was a strategy that was devised by Mumbai police. I read a book also on that. Chanakya, since you asked about Chanakya, D. Shivanandan, who was the director of Maharashtra police then, he actually created a safe city. So coming back to Chanakya, the first thing for the development of a nation, any nation, is actually security. Imagine if you have to go to a place where you are not sure whether मैं जिंदा रहूँगा. I know of a situation in Mumbai when a husband used to go to work, the wife used to tell, पता नहीं ये जिंदा आएगा क्या? अरे, shoot out at Lokhandwala. Remember all those movies? So I think Chanakya said 2 things for the development of a nation. Number 1, security and economic prosperity. If you don't find your career in Mumbai, you'll go anywhere else, and vice versa, right? There are so many topics about security, but let me tell you today, since we're speaking about an experienced person, 3 levels of security is required for nation's development. The first one is very popular, and most of us know, the feeling of security when you walk in. Mujhe koi marega nahi. That's achieved. Tick. The biggest problem right now is cyber security, isn't it true? And sir was telling me it's like a problem. By the way, 700 crores have been sanctioned for that. A cyber crime. You don't have to have a robber coming in. You have to just crack your mobile code, isn't it true? How many of us are aware that the biggest security threat right now in India is space security? Are you aware of space wars? It's a big thing. It's bigger than cyber security. And we just saw one small glimpse with what was that? Death of the blue screen. You heard about that? The Microsoft collapse. What? Blue screen death of, yeah, 3 weeks ago. I was at Mumbai airport. I was supposed to fly from Mumbai to Trivandrum. My father's sister had expired, so jaldi pahunchna. I had the boarding pass in my hand. Whole security have passed and at the entry point. And the person says, अंदर नहीं जा सकता. I said, why? देखो boarding pass है, सब security हो गया, check हो गया. Because if there's a problem, you cannot enter the airport, right? The barcode will not give you access. And he says the flight is cancelled. Huh? Maybe last one, no, we cancelled it in the morning. But how did you give me a boarding pass? It's not once, it's happening. They're still experimenting. What's the problem? My friends, as you said, technology-wise, generation-wise, the feeling of insecurity can increase. But are you psychologically ready that kuch bhi ho jaye? I feel secure from inside. And the first security is given by the hope and the inspiration by the leader. Tum aage badho, hum tumhare saath hai.
Thank you for that. I think it's truly amazing also how Chanakya's teachings from so long ago still stand so relevant to us today, that we continue to take them forth today. Dr. Patil, the recent passage of the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill in India has raised concerns about data privacy and the balance between innovation and regulation. What are the potential benefits of this legislation, and how can India ensure robust data protection while fostering a conducive environment for technology innovation?
So I think one of the first benefits of the Digital Data Personal Protection Bill is the fact that now you can actually, enforce your data privacy, right? Earlier, we had various legislations related to the IT security, right? But we had really didn't have the Digital Data Protection Bill. So now actually, you can actually now control who accesses your personal data and personal sensitive data and personal financial data, right? You can actually give consent. That's now the basic principle now under this bill, that you can actually now give consent to who can access your data, and more importantly, for what purpose. And third, for how much time that entity has access to your data, right? And those 3 things are important because, for instance, if you, like for instance, you wanted to apply for a SIM card, right? So you have given permission for the company to access your Aadhaar card only for the purpose of application of the SIM card, right? So now the company has to destroy that data after that application is done, after application is processed. But earlier what used to happen, the companies used to retain all that data. So you would hear, for instance, the cases of Aadhaar fraud happening because, or the iCard fraud happening because those Xeroxes and all those things, used to be, in unsafe places, and those could be accessed by the criminal elements. So now you can actually enforce your data privacy. The second thing which will happen now is that you can actually ask the companies to forget that data. Again, if you look at, for instance, the Facebook and all the other social media platforms, the fact is that today, once you deactivate your account or once you cancel the services of that particular social media platform, you're not very sure, whether all the other things that you had uploaded on that particular account, whether they remain there or whether they have been destroyed. But now you can actually ask the companies whether that data has been deleted, right? And if the companies have not deleted, they are liable for penalty. Right? That's the third thing. But I think going forward, one thing that India has to do a lot is that we have faced a lot of flack for the idea of data localization. Now that is something which is necessary because when Indian citizens' data is in other countries' territories, and when a crime happens here on the Indian territory, you can't expect the police to go and asking the foreign governments that they need access to that data because their citizens' data is there on that territory. So we have enforced this principle of data localization. But I think now one thing that India has to now actively look is that we have to now bring in the idea of trusted partners. So, for instance, countries such as the US or countries such as, for instance, Australia, countries such as Japan, if you are sharing your intelligence information with them, then they are surely, trusted partners when it comes to storing your data because these countries can give you access to your citizens' data. So I think that is one thing which India needs to now actively pursue, the idea of whitelisted geographies and trusted partners.
Thank you for that. I think it also cleared a lot of misconceptions that people might have that the bill is not entirely bad, the legislation, but that India needs to have trusted partners in the future to ensure more robust data security. Now before we conclude, I'd like to ask both of you, what advice would you give to people to youth who want to be future leaders in this increasingly complex world?
I have only one advice, Chanakya's advice. Life will be full of challenges, 100%, don't worry about it. एक challenge solve करो, दूसरा खड़ा है. So the advice is, never fight a battle alone, take some friends along. Thank you.
I have three things. One is, first is take charge of your life, okay, because it is your life. No one is going to actually help you to do better in your life. So take charge of your life. Second thing is read as much as you can. And I think that is one thing which, I find deficient in today's generation, that it doesn't read. It is only when you read, you can think, and only when you can think, you can actually take charge of your life, right? So that's the third thing. And the third thing is, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your environment.
Hello.
Yeah. Because today's generation is so self-centered, that they think, they are the center of the universe. But it's actually not the case, right? There's so many things happening in the world that you have to be aware of, what is happening in the world. And it is only when you look at what is happening in the world, you can actually, relate yourself to say, okay, my problems are so small that the world has so many challenges, and so you can prepare for those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of this discussion. I'd like to thank you for taking your time out and coming here. We're incredibly grateful, and I'm sure that all of us were really enlightened by the views you had to give us on Chanakya's teachings combined with the modern day world and national security. Thank you very much. Over to Sayali.
Can I take a minute if you don't mind?
Sure.
I know what is the next program. They're going to give us some gifts. But I believe in return gifts also. I don't have many copies, but Shinde sir and Saili, and I'm going to gift my latest book to all of you. So this was Chanakya 7 Secrets of Leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of Malhar and Conclave Department, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our guests and our audience. Today's session has truly been enlightening, and we owe this to our distinguished guests, Dr. Sameer Patil and Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. Your deep insights into security and strategy and your profound knowledge of Chanakya and Indian philosophies has provided us with a rich perspective, connecting ancient wisdom with contemporary practices. Before we conclude, I would now like to invite Marzban sir and Ashma ma'am to please come on stage and present a token of gratitude to our esteemed guests. Also, we have customized earbuds by the brand Elver, who are our sponsors for Malhar'. May I please request Ashma ma'am and Marzban sir to come on stage. Following which, I would request our staff committee and Malhar committee to come on stage for a picture.
Photo op, photo op.
I would request Malhar committee to come and for a picture. Principal sir, we would request you to please come for a picture.